gentlemen.
Good evening from LSU Television Studios.
Special newscast, the mythical 60s in Italy. Our guests and reporters will help us outline the most interesting features of the 60s in Italy.
Well, we'll recall the main economic and political events in Italy, as well as trends in fashion, music, and cinema, in order to understand why the 60s are still considered an important era. Let's start with a brief overview on politics. Today with us in our television studios, Ms. Samira Abou-Tofik, political analyst. Ms. Abou-Tofik, could you please tell us briefly about the political situation in Italy in the 60s?
Good evening. Well, the years 1963-1968 mark the beginning of a new era in Italy. The new chief of the Italian government, Aldo Moro, starts to support the left-wing turning. That's an opening towards the Italian socialists. That was made possible because of the changing international scenario. As you know, in 1916, John Kennedy was elected president of the United States. And as a matter of fact, his election put the basis for better political relationship between Eastern and Western countries. Even the Catholic Church, under the guidance of John Pope the 23rd, started a new policy in the political and social field. The new international premises allowed Aldo Moro to promote a radical change in the Italian political background and the formation of a multi-party government. The so-called Aldo Moro's left-wing turning will be remembered as a fundamental moment for the building of the Italian democracy. Yet, it will meet the opposition of both left and right-wing parties.
Good news on the economic side. The period between 1958 and 1963 is called the economic miracle. It will be introduced by Ms. Angela Colucci, an outstanding economist. Good evening, Ms. Angela Colucci. Why do we use the expression economic miracle for the 60s?
Thank you. The British historian Eric Hobsbawm, in his book The Age of Extremes, has defined the second half of the 20th century the new golden age. The GDP increases and the annual average rate is 6.3%. The industrial production doubles and the social gap decreases. We assist to a rapid change in the Italian lifestyle, where mostly farmers before the great economic boom. Motorbikes, cars, TV sets and fridges become affordable to most Italian families, and Italy seems to be determined to reach the same levels of many other powerful countries. It's the Italian miracle.
And now, a video clip about economy.
Dal 1958 al 1963, il tasso di crescita dell'economia italiana registrò un valore annuo medio del 6%, un dato mai registrato prima né in seguito. La crescita di questi anni portò l'Italia nel novero dei paesi più industrializzati e ricchi del mondo e trasformò profondamente i consumi e le abitudini degli italiani. Questa fase positiva si collocava nel quadro di una crescita generale dell'Occidente, ma aveva anche ragioni specificamente italiane. Da un lato, la produzione italiana era favorita da un basso costo del lavoro rispetto alla media occidentale. Dall'altro, lo Stato, discostandosi dall'esperienza della prima ricostruzione, intervenne massicciamente nell'economia, finanziando e promuovendo l'industria di base e quella delle fonti energetiche.
And now, some news.
Well, on the 4th of October 1964, the President of the Italian Council, Aldo Moro, inaugurates the last part of the longest Italian motorway called Autostrada del Sole, which connects the north of Italy to the south. More than 700 kilometers are built to connect Milan to Naples. It only took 8 years to build it. It was aimed at promoting the industrial development in the Italian southern regions and the people's mobility in the country.
On the 1st of March 1968, the so-called struggle of Valle Giulia takes place. It is the students' riot against the university system and its old style. The students' movement expresses their distress and dissatisfaction with a moralist, capitalist, and conformist society. to which they oppose ideals of freedom, equality, and participation.
Besides the students' riots, there is the factory workers' protest. In 1969, during the so-called Autumn, a series of strikes which involved workers of different sectors takes place. Workers ask for better work conditions, higher salaries, and the trade unions meetings during the working hours. Trade unions start to give public voice to the workers' demand.
We are pleased to have in our television studios Ms. Natalie Morandi, University Professor at Naples University, expert in fashion and customs. Good evening, Professor. Would you mind telling us all about the main features of fashion in Italy?
The 60s in Italy represent a turning point in fashion and lifestyle. Innovative styles, patterns, colors, accessories, and haircuts spread all over Europe. Even in Italy, the popular miniskirt launched by Mary Quant in Carnaby Street, London, starts to be worn by Italian girls, as well as the famous Givenchy tent dress, which matches well with colorful stockings and high boots. Italian teenagers start to follow the fashion launched by the Mozza, who remind us a lot of the Beatles. They also followed the rockers and the Teddy Boys style, who wear leather jackets, dirty boots, greasy hair, and worn-out jeans. Hairstyles and haircuts change too. The pixie cut becomes popular, and girls' makeup gets more and more intense. Even accessories change. Sunglasses.
Thank you very much.
And now let's talk about music and cinema. Radio stations play more pop music than ever, and movies mirror the new trends and the behavior. They both influence the new lifestyle, Italian lifestyle. In our television studios, Miss Roberta Zaccagnino, Italian film director. Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Commedia all'Italiana, that is the typical Italian comedy, was born at the beginning of the 60s with the aim of making the audience laugh, but at the same time reflect about the dominant social values in the 60s. The overview was hilarious but bitter, and the happy ending was not predictable at all. The setting was realistic, and the language use was really close to the original dialect of the setting in place of the comedy. The characters were not psychologically well defined, but they embodied the typical social behaviors and attitudes. At that time, the most outstanding film directors were Monicelli, Risi, Comencini, and Scola, and actors and actresses such as Mastroianni, Sordi, Gassman, Cardinale, and Tognazzi were real celebrities. On the 5th of December 1962, the movie Il Sorpasso, directed by film director Dino Risi, came out. It can be considered as the manifesto of the Commedia all'Italiana, a masterpiece with a sad ending. It tells the story of Bruno Cortona, 42, interpreted by Vittorio Gassman in the role of the typical macho man keen on speedy cars and attractive women. Bruno makes friends with Roberto Mariani, a young university student who will die at the end in a car accident during Bruno's overtaking on the way from Rome to Tuscany.
Even music changes in the 60s. An Italian music scene is dominated by great artists such as Mina, Adriano Celentano, Gino Paoli, Gianni Morandi. In the 1962, the first edition of Il Cantagiro takes place. It is a huge success, but Miss Elena Vargas, Italian songwriter, is going to tell us a bit more about it. Good evening, Miss.
Good evening. Yeah, it was a great success. The idea was borrowed from the Giro d'Italia, a popular cycling tour, but no bikes were used across the countries, just cars and vans, crowded with singers, friends, and music technicians, stopped in town to perform and compete on the stage. Gigs and music competition were always outdoor, and the Cantagiro marks the bond between music consumers and mass tourists. 12 singers performed in front of a jury made of 50 people, selected from the audience to express their preference. But the Cantagiro most memorable moments were where singers stopped in town, not just like in the cycling tour, but they were the singers that welcomed by their fans, real idols.
Thank you very much. And now, let's watch Mille Bolle Blu by Mina.
Impazzisco di gioia se vedo passeggiare nel vento le mille bolle blu. Un bacio ancora, un bacio s'avvicinano
penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevo le mani e la faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo dal vento rapito e incominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù, e volavo, volavo felice più in alto del sole ed ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano spariva lontano laggiù. Una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me.
And now our Italian expert Lorenzo Tedesca for the conclusions. Good evening.
Grazie. In questo discorso abbiamo parlato dei cambiamenti che l'Italia ha subito nel corso degli ultimi decenni, in cui essa è profondamente cambiata dai movimenti studenteschi e operai negli anni 60. Attualmente è un'Italia più laica e più individualista, più aperta e tollerante, e meno condizionata dalla morale cattolica e dalla tradizione culturale maschilista. È ancora forse un'Italia lontana dall'affermazione degli ideali collettivisti e ugualitari sognati dagli operai e dagli studenti, però è senz'altro un'Italia più moderna. Grazie.
Goodbye from LSU Television Studios, conduced by Gerardo Arcieri
I'm Christine Morandi. The next news tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock.